The moon hung low, a watchful eye over Ravenwood Asylum. Its crumbling facade, eaten by vines and time, was a grotesque silhouette against the stormy sky. Built on the edge of Blackwood Forest, the asylum stood as a monument to despair, abandoned and left to decay. Wind howled through broken windows, mimicking the cries that once echoed within. Ravenwood was a place of shadows, where reason died and madness lingered. The air grew colder as night deepened, and the temperature dropped with each step towards the asylum. The stench of decay intensified, a cloying sweetness mixed with the metallic tang of blood. It was said that the walls whispered tales of suffering, and the air itself was thick with the residue of pain. No one dared to approach Ravenwood, for it was a place where sanity went to die. Dr. Emma Taylor, a woman of science and skepticism, scoffed at ghost stories, yet the letter she held felt different. It was old, the ink faded and the edges brittle, delivered to her doorstep with no return address. "Ravenwood calls to you," it read. "Your destiny awaits." The words sent chills down her spine, igniting a spark of curiosity she couldn't ignore. The asylum had always held a morbid fascination for Emma. Its history was shrouded in whispers of medical atrocities and unexplained phenomena. The letter, with its cryptic message, seemed like a challenge, a dare to confront the darkness that clung to Ravenwood. Despite a sense of foreboding, she decided to heed the call. Armed with a flashlight and a backpack full of recording equipment, Emma stood at the asylum's rusted gates. The wind shrieked as if warning her back. Ignoring the icy fingers tracing her spine, she pushed open the creaking iron gates and stepped inside. The air hit her like a physical blow, thick with dust and the silence of the grave. Each step deeper into the asylum brought a new wave of unease. The main hallway stretched before her, dimly lit by the moon filtering through shattered windows. Paint peeled from the walls, revealing faded murals once meant to soothe troubled minds. Now they were grotesque caricatures, their hollow eyes seeming to follow her every move. Section 4. Whispers of Madness. The air in Ravenwood was thick with whispers. They seemed to emanate from the very walls themselves, faint murmurs and disembodied cries that sent shivers down her spine. Emma pressed on, drawn deeper into the asylum's heart. She discovered rooms filled with rusted medical equipment, wheelchairs scattered as if in a hasty retreat. In a room labelled Records, she found files scattered across the floor. Dusty documents detailed horrific experiments performed on patients, their pleas for help ignored. As she read, the whispers intensified, morphing into distinct voices, begging for mercy, crying out in pain. Emma felt a cold hand on her shoulder and she whirled around, heart pounding, but found nothing there. Section 5. The Screaming Walls. Panic began to claw at the edges of Emma's composure. The shadows seemed to writhe and twist, taking on menacing shapes. The whispers grew louder, morphing into blood-curdling screams that reverberated through the hallways. The asylum itself seemed to be alive, pulsing with a malevolent energy that chilled her to the bone. She stumbled back, desperate to escape the cacophony, but the asylum seemed determined to trap her. Doors slammed shut before she could reach them, and the floor seemed to shift beneath her feet. A wave of dizziness washed over her, and she realized with growing horror that whatever was in Ravenwood was toying with her.